Accused number 2 in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial wants bail. Bongani Ntanzi is the only suspect with no previous convictions. His lawyer, TT Thobane, says he's yet to receive any response from the court regarding this matter. Well, our reporter Silindelo Masikane joins us for more on the story. Hello, Slee. So talk to me about accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. No criminal record.
No criminal record, no pending cases apart from the one that he is currently on trial for. So what we know about Bongani is that he was arrested back in June of 2020. This is about 6 years after the death of Senzo Meyiwa. And what we know is that he was arrested actually at his place of employment. He works in Rustenburg. We understand that he worked in the mines at the time. And from that day of his arrest in June of 2020 till today, he's been in custody. And he is saying in his court papers that, look, I haven't had a chance to actually apply for bail. And unlike my co-accused, I don't have any previous convictions. I'm a breadwinner for my family. I was supporting about 10 people, he says in his court papers, earning a salary of around 10,000 Rand. And of course, his incarceration has obviously led to his family suffering quite a bit. He's got a child as well. And these are just some of the reasons that he'll be putting forth. This is apart from the fact that we know that the state is, of course, dealing with the fact that there are 2 dockets in this matter, which is something that he raises, saying that, look, it doesn't seem as though the strength of the state's case is really in their favor, because we are dealing with the fact that the facts of the matter are still in question in terms of who should be in the dock. Should it be me and my co-accused, or should it be those in the house according to docket 375? So this is what we know about Bongani, the fact that he's a 32-year-old who was arrested in connection with this matter 2 years ago and is now applying for bail because he says he has never been given that opportunity.
You were explaining to me before we went on air with this that it is not unusual for people charged with Schedule 6 offences to actually be denied bail, even if they don't have a criminal record.
Yeah.
Do we know how he's linked, allegedly, to the murder?
So at this point, this is what we're trying to establish with the trial actually unfolding in court, because we know at this point accused number 3 is the one who is said to have entered the house. We don't know if he entered the house with accused 1 or 2, or whether it was 4 or 5 at this point. These are the details that we're just expecting to continuously unfold. But we know that in his court papers, he also alleges that the police had forced a confession out of him to implicate not only himself but his co-accused in this matter. And according to his lawyer, basically his client, accused number 2, should at least be given an opportunity to be able to face these charges, but also to be able to provide for his family and exercise his right to be able to apply for bail. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Bail is a right of each and every person. To arrest and put someone in custody is a last resort. I'm not going to go into the full merits of the case, but remember, when you make a bail application, it's an application. It is common cause that he's been in custody for a long time. It is further common cause that he doesn't have any previous convictions. On this matter, it was first time he was arrested.
All right, so that's TT Thobane, who's trying to get bail for accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. I have to ask you, Advocate Malesela Tefu, who, you know, I mean, it's a very bizarre situation.
Yeah.
Is he still around? Has he gone away yet, or what's happening with him?
Yeah, that's also just something that's continuously just quite interesting with Advocate Malesela Tefu. We know he's got his own legal woes, but it seems that he just seemingly won't let go of this case, because he didn't just withdraw from the matter, but he then just continuously still writes on behalf of the accused to the NPA. The latest letter is him also still trying to find answers in terms of the Section 6B application that he made before he withdrew for the accused to have the charges dropped. So in this letter, he's following up on that request, trying to find out where that matter is. But he has formally withdrawn from the matter, so it's still quite bizarre that he's still writing on behalf of the accused, especially because it's on record that Thobane is now officially representing the accused. I did put it to Thobane to just get a sense as to how he's feeling. Has he addressed this with Tefu? Does it not bother him? Does he not feel undermined? This is what he has to say.
It's unacceptable what he's doing, because he withdraw on his own from the case, and there's no need for him to keep on writing letters with regard to the matter. He can concentrate on 375. My instructions from clients are that I must proceed, and at this stage they don't want him back on the matter.
Oh, and that's pretty emphatic, because it's up to the client. They're saying they want TT Thobane. So whatever Tef was writing to the NPA, I suppose, is in a way immaterial at this point. So accused number 2 is hoping to get bail.
Yeah.
But the case itself is due back on the 5th of September, you were telling me.
Yes.
Could this bail application, could we have a decision before the 5th of September? What's the NPA saying?
So I've reached out to them, and they have confirmed that the application, they have seen sight of it. At this point, it's just a matter of the matter being assigned to a judge, allocated to a judge, and then a judge actually allocating a time for that application to be heard. Usually with urgent applications, especially in the High Court, you get a date quite quickly, but we don't know exactly how the court's role is looking like right now, which is why I think it does concern TT Thobane that we may see a delay in the resumption of the trial, because we're still trying to deal with this bail application.
Why would it delay the trial, though? Surely whenever he would get bail, or is it simply that TT Thobane is also going to have to be in court for that matter?
Exactly. So if the dates don't work out in terms of the trial was set down to resume in September for 2 weeks from the 5th, if the bail application then has to be heard somewhere in between, then of course we have another delay in the trial. And we don't know if Zandile Msholoolo has actually finished consulting in terms of docket 375, because that is why we had originally postponed the matter to September. We know that there's a possibility that if Msholoolo then comes back to say, look, I still need more time to prepare my defense for accused number 5 in terms of this new information in docket 375, then possibly Thobane could then apply to have a separation of trials, because he believes that there is some kind of conspiracy to delay the matter, and he believes that we need to wrap this up as soon as possible. So, like I said, Sally, I think the last time I spoke to you, I said, you never know with this trial what's going to happen, and so I can't say, but at this point, we're waiting for a date for a bail application, and then we know that the trial itself is supposed to resume on the 5th of September.
All right. Well, I'm very glad you're keeping an eye on it, because, as you say, it's always full of surprises, and we really do need justice for Senzo Meyiwa. Thank you so much. Silindelo Masikane covering that story for us.